These mistakes definitely cost me thousands of dollars and wasted so much of my time. And I want to share these with you because I don't want you to waste your time in your business, whether you are a newbie just starting out or you've been in business for a couple of years. In this video, you'll learn the 7 mistakes that I made in business that cost me time, money, and growth. I also threw in the 8th in there that wasted so much of my time. I've been online for 7 years, and I would say the first 5 years were just mistake after learning mistake after failure, which is not something that's bad because it's something that I learned that didn't work that actually got me to where I am today, and I'm able to find my cut audience and close sales online. Before we dive in, make sure you grab that freebie, the 4-step Instagram process. Before it goes away, it teaches you the exact process on how to find your ideal customer, as well as what to do once you find them. That way you can close sales online. So grab that before that goes away. I'll leave the link up here for you or down below in the description. So the first mistake I made was FOMO syndrome, fear of missing out. I didn't want to miss out on anything, on any tools, resources, ideas, any videos or training I listened to. What someone said, I was like, oh my goodness, they're successful. I'm gonna have to try this because it'll work for me, and will be my breakthrough, and I'll be able to make sales, I'll be able to be more successful and work from home and do all this stuff. And so I wouldn't give stuff time, so I would have a shiny object syndrome and I would bounce all over the place trying different things, which does not work. So you might be like, okay, well, I kind of have FOMO syndrome. I've tried and bounced stuff around, so how do I fix FOMO syndrome? Well, take a deep breath and take your time. Reevaluate. Anytime you learn something or hear something, actually analyze it. Like, is this something that would be beneficial to me? Is this something that would help me grow my business? Is this something that I can actually do? Is this something that I want to be doing? Some things you might not want to be doing in your business, and it's not like it's an end all or be all. I previously, for example, people kept saying, okay, you have to get on the phone, you have to get on the phone, which yes, you do get on the phone, but it's possible to close sales online without getting on the phone. There's different things that you can do and try. And I was so focused on, I have to be on the phone, I have to talk with this person and get on this phone and then close the sale. Honestly, that didn't work for me. I had a huge fear of getting on the phone. Really silly, but I had a huge fear of getting on the phone because I thought I couldn't gather my thoughts, and I thought that they would be like, okay, well, she doesn't know maybe as much as she knows, and all that stuff. And that's simply not the fact, because I'm always growing, I'm always learning more, and someone is going to know more than me, and someone's going to know less than me. So I'm helping those people that don't know what I know, and I'm teaching them what I know so they can learn everything and be successful and get to my point and then continue to grow. The second mistake I made is bouncing around all over the place. This kind of goes hand in hand with FOMO syndrome, but trying to do this thing and this thing, X, Y, and Z, and saying, oh, this is gonna work, this is gonna work, and not actually staying focused and committed on it for a few weeks or even months to see if it works. For example, I spoke with this lady the other day, and she was saying she was having a really hard time growing her Instagram following and bringing in customers into her business. And I said, well, guess what? I can help you. I have a course that teaches you exactly how to find your audience, the content you need to create, and how to close sales on Instagram. This can, of course, apply to other platforms, but I specifically focus on Instagram. And she told me that she was working on this strategy, and I said, okay, what's the strategy? Explain it to me. She explained the strategy to me, and I said, okay, well, that's strange that it's not working for you. This is something, similar that I teach into the course, one of the things I teach in the course. And she said, I said, well, how long have you been implementing the strategy? She said 1 week. I said, okay, this is something that is not going to work for you. I said, you have to actually stay consistent with this for a few weeks, a month, to continue to do it. You're not just going to get it to do it for a few days and see massive results. That's just not how it works. If you want to have thousands of followers and lots of engagement, that's when you're going to have to buy it, and that's something that you should not do in your business because it's not your actual audience. It's not people who are interested in what you want. Wouldn't you want a target group of people of 500 followers who are actually wanting to buy from you than 5,000 followers who want nothing to do with your business? I'm betting you pick the 500 followers because that's what's going to actually bring in sales, bring in money, so you continue to grow from there. So you might have made this mistake of bouncing around. So how do you fix it? Stop bouncing around. Pick something and stick with it. Take a note in your journal or online or whatever you do to keep track of what you're doing, and say, okay, I started this on X date. I'm going to continue to do it and be consistent. Because if you do it for one day, skip it for 4 days, do it again, did it for 4 days, do it again, you're not going to see it. This is something you have to be consistent through that time that you're practicing it or doing whatever strategy you're doing or implementing in your business. The third thing that I made a huge mistake in is investing in unnecessary tools. I threw out so much money out the window from investing in monthly programs, one-time payoffs on certain tools that I thought I had to have for my business. And the fact of the matter is these tools are not bad tools. I will definitely use them down the road in my business. But at the place where I'm at, I don't need to spend $400, $500 a month on certain tools that I can use for free right now, especially if it's something that you don't need. Like, some tools are meant for people who have a bigger following or who have more traffic coming in. It all depends on your business and where you are at in your stage. For example, I'm making YouTube videos, and of course I know that I'm going to be using, I think it's called Rev, where it translates and narrates your videos into text. And yes, I am going to use that. It's going to be beneficial, especially for ranking videos and for maybe turning it into blog posts and things like that. But right now, I don't need to be paying for that because I don't have a big enough following. I'm not monetized on YouTube, and I'm not making that income from YouTube yet. When I do, I will reinvest into that so then they can become better. So that was an example of me using tools or investing in things that aren't necessarily what I need. Another thing, a camera. When I first started, we bought this fancy camera. It was like $800, $900 bucks. I don't even remember what it was. This was like 4 or 5 years ago. And we ended up actually selling it because, one, we didn't really use it, and two, the audio on it wasn't great. We went for more for the look of it, and we ended up just using the phone mainly. That's what I use. All my previous videos are typically on my phone or on my laptop. I recently invested in the Canon G7X, which is what is on right now, and it's made a world of difference. And it was just because it was time, it was in my price range, and I'm able to do it. There's other cameras that I want to get, but they were in the 1,000 range, and that's just not in what I want to be spending in right now, or it's in my budget. So you have to know your budget, you have to know what you're spending, so you're not spending on unnecessary tools, so you're actually able to invest and grow your business. A great way you can actually keep track of this, what I didn't do in the beginning is I didn't have a spreadsheet, or I didn't keep track of my monthly subscriptions. In Airtable, I actually created a spreadsheet of my budget, and I laid out everything to when the subscription started, what time it is updated, how much it is a month, the name of it. I don't remember what else it was. I'll pop up a screenshot of what it looks like, and that's how I did it. And then at the bottom, there's actually a total number of all I spend every month, so I'm actually able to keep track of it. The fourth mistake I made is thinking I didn't know enough. I always thought I had to learn more. I always thought I had to be better at something so I could teach something or be a coach or be better at this. And the fact of the matter is I knew a lot more than I thought. And I'm sure you're going to be the same way, because guess what? Sure, there's going to be other people that know way more than you, but there's also going to be a lot of people that know way less than you. And those are the people that you want to help. Those are the people that you want to focus with. Those are the people that you want to reach out to. Whether it is coaching, whether it is in another MLM company, or you have a small business, you want to reach the people that are interested in what you're selling. I'm curious, let me know in the comments below if you are someone who feels that same way and feels like they have to learn more before they can actually implement certain things in their business. I'm really curious if you felt the same way. So how do you fix this feeling? One way I fix this feeling is actually by realizing and actually taking a second to realize that everybody does not know everything, and I know that I know more than someone else, and realizing that people who know more, that's not my audience. So I'm figuring out, I'm getting people that don't know this, that are struggling, that are going through some of the same stuff that I went through, and that is who I'm figuring, and that's who I'm working with. So it all depends on what you're doing, and you just have to realize that you do know more, and you can always learn. That's why you learn something every day. The fifth mistake I made was self-doubt and confidence. I had a lot of self-doubt about getting on the phone or talking with someone, thinking I would stumble over, or someone would think I was dumb or didn't know enough. And this kind of goes with the number 4 that I was talking about previously. One thing that really helped me with getting over with self-doubt and confidence issues is actually doing affirmations and meditation. Affirmations, just go to YouTube and type in, success affirmation, positive affirmations, listen to those. I actually love writing down the affirmations, the words I hear in my book. I actually, I I'm actually making, the previous video I did is actually on my bullet journal, and I share in there that I put a page for a gratitude log, and then I share that and I write that out throughout the entire month of things that I listen to. I previously had an entire journal for it, but I like it in my bullet journal where I can refer to it on a daily basis. Meditation, I started doing an app. There's a couple apps you can get. I use Audible, so I just searched a couple meditation apps, downloaded it, and 10 to 15 minutes a day, if you sit there, of course I skip some days, but sit there and actually listen to it and do it, you just feel so much more relaxed, and your thoughts are able to process more, because I used to have a hard time focusing. My thoughts bounced all over the place, and meditation really helped me zone in on that and take a deep breath and focus in. And sometimes when I feel really overwhelmed or stressed out, or like my brain is just bouncing all these thoughts off, I actually like to do the meditation because it really calms my thoughts. I'm able to hear, you know, all the things that are going through my head and process things without all the distractions. So try it and see how it works. I'm really curious. Let me know in the comments below if that's something that you want to try or that you have tried and you've noticed that it's worked. The sixth mistake I made is the perfection syndrome. Everything had to be perfect. My website had to be perfect. My emails had to be perfect. My blog posts had to be perfect. My videos had to be perfect. I had to be on point with everything. I didn't want to stumble over my words. I wanted to make sure the script was perfect. And that actually caused me to not release content. That caused me to hold off on posting things because I thought the image wasn't quite right, or the video wasn't right, or the way I looked wasn't right. And guess what? It's okay, because everyone goes through maybe the perfection syndrome. If that's something that you've gone through or experienced, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to know. But it's okay if it's not perfect. One of my big issues was grammar, because I had such a huge fear that I would misspell things, punctuation and grammar, because that's something that's not my strong suit. I misspell lots of different things. But that is when I actually realized it doesn't matter, because people are not coming to me to learn spelling or grammatical errors. I'm not here. I'm teaching people how to grow their business online and make sales, which I do in one-on-one coaching or inside the Instagram Growth Momentum course. I'll leave the links below for you to check out if that's something that would benefit you. But I realized that, you know what? If I release it and there's a misspelling, okay, whatever. If the grammar police is watching and they get mad about it and they let me know, it's like, okay, thank you. I learned it. Thank you. I can switch it. But it's not an end all or be all, and it won't cost me a sale, and it won't cost me a customer because of misspelling or something like that. And I actually, to fix this, I'll let you know for the spelling, I use Grammarly. I think that's what it is called. Hold on. I'll leave it for Grammarly. It's like a Chrome app you can install, and it'll actually fix your spelling grammatical errors. And this really helped me on, you know, when I do my PDFs or emails or blog posts or social media posts, anything like that, that'll help you with. So you're like, okay, well, I have the perfection syndrome and I have a really hard time getting over the perfection syndrome. How do I get over it? I honestly had to adopt the F it mentality. Literally, like one time I made a post on Instagram and I said F it. And from there it was like, okay, I'm not going to overthink it and not going to overdo it. I'm just going to do it. I can go back and fix it later or do things, but I get the work and get it out. Because honestly, for me, holding it back and not producing, say this video, I don't have it perfect down. I'm not on point when it comes to speaking on camera, and that's something that I'm improving, because I'd love to work on my speaking ability and in front of people, because that's one of my biggest fears. I do eventually want to speak, but camera's enough right now. But you had to adopt the F it mentality. I was like, okay, whatever, I'm just going to do it. If I stumble, okay, fine. You can see that from my previous videos on this channel. When I first did it, I'm very structured, scripted, and it seems very, very fake and rehearsed, because I would read a line, then I would stop the camera, read a line or read a few lines, and if I messed up, I would redo the whole video and stuff like that, and I wouldn't just go with the flow. The seventh mistake I made is doing too much at once. I wanted to do this and that and incorporate this in my business, incorporate that in my business. And the thing is sure, I can do it, but if I try to cram everything in 2 or 3 days and get it done, it's just not possible, because then you're neglecting the people that you are actually working with or making those sales in your business. So certain things I learned, I actually learned this from Vanessa Lush. She made a video on breaking down everything into 4 quarters, and then break it down to monthly, and then break it down to weekly. And I did this, and it really helped me because I was so overwhelmed with coming up, you know, updating my course, or changing the capture pages, or updating the website, or you know, creating content and stuff like that. So I actually broke it down in the quarters, and each quarter I have certain things. So I did it all online, but I talk about this in that bullet journal video I did. I broke it down into my bullet journal as well, into the quarters, the monthly and stuff. So I actually can glance at it. So let's say for this month, I wanted to do some minor edits on my Instagram course. So I had that in there. I wanted to do my email sequence, make sure my lead generation process was on point. That was like month 1. Pre-record the video. So here I batch all my videos. So I made 4 videos at once. So I'm good for 4 weeks. Then I go the next month, I want to focus on my Facebook group, and so on. And but previously I would have actually tried to do it all in 1 week because all my ideas were there, and I was like, I have to get it done. And that's just not going to help you. You're going to feel overwhelmed, frustrated, and burn out. And that is exactly what I did a few times, and be like, okay, I'm working, burn out for a little bit. Working, burn out. Okay. So how do you fix this problem? Like I said, that spreadsheet was so helpful to me. So the 8th mistake I made that wasted so much of my time is thinking I had to have a business plan. I don't know what it was, and I don't know what it is. So many of you have come be like, okay, I need a business plan. Okay, I don't have a business plan. Okay, I don't know how to write a business plan. And guess, honestly, I did the same. I overthought it way too much. You don't need a freaking business plan like that, especially if you're a small business, not a huge corporation that's dealing with all these people, but you're just a small business starting out. You don't have a lot of following. You don't have a lot of income coming in from it. Okay, a business plan can be helpful, but it has to be right for you. You don't need a 20-page business plan. That's what I tried doing. I downloaded this business plan and made like this 20-page business plan, and I never used it. I never referred to it. So then I actually created the marketing plan and brand identity workbook. I'll leave the link for you. That's actually available for you as well. But it broke it down into everything that you're going to be using in your business, your mission statement, your target audience, your customer personas, your like a plan for the year. It's like a graph chart that I do that really helps me outline certain key points and stuff like that. And I actually refer back to this, which has been really helpful. So don't waste time on a business plan. Just figure out what you're doing and get going on it. You don't want to waste days and months doing it. I spent a lot of time, and I would refer back to it. Even, you know, a couple years in, I'd be like, I just still don't have my business plan down. I need a business plan. No, this is something that's not a huge necessity. So those are the 8 mistakes that I made in business that cost me lots of time, lots of money, and lots of growth. So if this is any of those mistakes that you have experienced or that you're guilty of doing, I'd love to know what mistakes that you've been doing in your business as well. And don't forget to grab that 4-step Instagram process. So leave the link for you up here for you to type in, or down below in the description. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. I release a video every week, and I hope you have a wonderful week, a wonderful month, whenever you watch this video, and I'll see you in the next video.